The Aware Project's aim is to balance the public conversation about psychedelics, spread accurate information, and give a new face to psychedelia. We feel that this change will occur through connection and relationship, one individual at a time. We are calling on everyone whose lives have been improved through the mindful use of psychedelics to educate themselves and become ambassadors for the psychedelic experience. Show those around you that people who use psychedelics mindfully cross all social, racial, economic, and political boundaries.
So it started in Los Angeles by a woman named Ashley Booth, and she created the Aware Project about maybe 3.5 years ago now for the purpose of providing an educational platform to bring non-biased, important information to the public and bounce the discussion on psychedelics. And really, a big part of the Aware Project is a sense of cultivating community and creating a safe space and environment where people can share their experiences. They can ask questions without fear of judgment or conviction or anything of that sort. And that's really what we're trying to build here with the Aware Project, and to bring speakers to educate the public and just promote this ongoing conversation about how can psychedelics be responsibly and safely integrated into our lives and our species as a whole for the betterment of humankind. And because that's what we're trying to create, we also request that in order to maintain this as a safe, sacred space where we have the freedom to do that, we ask that you please don't come here looking to buy, sell, or talk about making any illegal substances. It's really important that this is a safe container where nothing illegal is happening, because it jeopardizes our ability to just show up and know that we aren't going to have undercovers, coming here and arresting people or raiding our events or whatever, because it's not about that ultimately. So thank you for respecting that, and we just ask that you remind anyone politely that maybe forgets the rule. And so without further ado, I will let Jared do the rest of this intro thing.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Caitlin. Awesome to see the turnout. Great to see a lot of new faces and familiar ones. I'm going to go ahead and start by getting a little ahead of myself and announcing the next 2 Aware Project events. Next Wednesday, we have a really awesome event coming up at UCSD. It's called Rethinking Psychedelics, Social Justice in the Psychedelic Renaissance. And we have 2 very awesome individuals from MAPS, which a lot of you know, the Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Studies, which is doing the MDMA psychotherapy trials for PTSD. We have their policy director and their legal and advocacy counsel to come be on a panel and talk about how we really need to move forward with impacted communities in mind, oppressed communities, people that typically get left behind when policy change happens. So that's really awesome. Check Facebook, check Eventbrite. It's going to be at UCSD. Then September 7th.
What time?
It's 7 to 10 o'clock. Almost all of our events are always 7 to 10, unless otherwise stated. But all the event is on social media. All the event info is on social media, so check it out there. Another 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. event happening on September 7th is a microdosing event with Paul Austin from the Third Wave. Some of you may know he's a guy from Brooklyn who is kind of one of the guys in microdosing right now. So that's going to be fantastic. A lot of people are interested in microdosing. That's what we have for our events. Feel free to ask about that after. Also wanted to draw attention to a really great organization doing great work in this community called Cosmovisiones Ancestrales. That's my gringo way of saying that, which you can check it out on cosmovisiones.org. But I want to draw attention to a fundraiser they're doing. What they are about is building bridges between the indigenous communities where a lot of these sacred plant medicines come from, and psychedelic researchers and drug policy experts and other stakeholders in this community to really have the type of conversations about that we need to be having: ecological and cultural harm reduction, indigenous land rights, things like way to sustainably do these practices sort of in the face of the globalization of the use of these sacred medicines. So they have a fundraiser which is trying to bring indigenous peoples from, specific people from Colombia and Mexico to a symposium that they're having on the Indigenous Peoples Day, which is a reclamation of Columbus Day, of course. So please, if you're interested or want more information, ask me or go to cosmovisiones.org. And so that's what I have for announcements, and I will go ahead and introduce Mareesa, who is our keynote speaker, who's graced us.
Hiding behind the back.
Yeah.
Hiding the wings.
If only we had a curtain. So Mareesa is the creator of The Seeing Machine. She's worked in the industry for over 12 years. Her passion for film began with a Betamax camcorder at the ripe age of 6, which led to a degree in cinema at San Francisco State University, and has taken her to shooting all around the world. Her primary work is shooting and hosting documentary and travel shows, as well as photography and music videos. Her great love is docuseries she's created called The Healing Powers, which we are blessed to be able to see today. That is about how entheogenic plant medicines are helping heal physical, psychological, mental, and emotional traumas and other issues, as we'll see today. Her work has been featured by Viceland, CBS, IFC, Spin, Indie Nation, 60 Sec Docs. It's quite a resume. But more importantly, Mareesa is a certifiable badass. She's a Kundalini teacher. I met her in Tulum earlier this year. We didn't realize we met and had a 40-minute conversation in Tulum until we met at the Labs conference last week, and may or may not have.
It was 4 in the morning.
It was, yeah, 4 in the morning and stuff. So anyway, Mareesa is awesome. We're so grateful to have her here. And without further ado, we'll bring her up to showcase Healing Powers.
Maybe people are missing, but there's a couple more chairs for those of you that prefer sitting. So help yourself, don't fight over it.
Thank you guys. Thanks for doing this. This is awesome. Thanks everyone for coming. It's a pleasure to be here. Talk a little bit about why I am making this series, why this is happening here. So I've spent the last 5 years focusing on resolving my old stories and traumas, and in general, getting my life to a place that I'm proud of. It's been this great adventure. It's taken me all around the world. I've hung out with holy men in India, studied Kundalini yoga, hung out with the shamans in the Amazon, did dietas, the whole thing. And I pretty much immersed myself in every possible mindful practice I can get my hands on, because as crazy as some of them